Welcome to the Daily Plunge. We are in Galatians chapter 3, verses 23 through chapter 4, verse 11. Starts off, before faith came to us. So faith comes to us, and it's something that God does in us. But before that, you and I, as it says, we were held in custody. We were in bondage under the law. And we were locked up under the law until faith was revealed. And the law was our custodian, our guardian, or even better, you should think of the law as your warden. Okay? Until Christ came and justified you. He set you free. He made you right with God. And so the purpose of the law was to keep a lid on sin. And then he goes on, it says that as you are baptized into Christ, this is verse 27, all who are baptized in Christ are clothed with Christ. You put Christ on, and all become children of God. You're adopted into the family. And so we are all one in Christ, whether we're Greek or Jew, pagan or Jew, whether we are circumcised or uncircumcised, whether we're male or female, no matter who we are, we have one identity that matters, and that is that you are a child of God. It's the only identity that ultimately, eternally matters. And if you belong to Christ, Paul writes to the Galatians, that's great, because then you are the offspring of Abraham. You are an offspring of faith, right? And then you are heirs according to the promise. Now we remember that word promise goes back to when he said that he gave a promise to Abraham, that promise is the work of God outside of the law. And so then he goes on to say, what I'm saying is, as long as he talks about the difference between being a slave to sin and an heir. And before the fullness of time, before you reach the proper age, which, that's sort of what he's saying, but really it's about the fullness of time, you are under the authority, the subject, you're governed by the guardian. And so too, we were in slavery under as it says in verse 3, the elemental spirits. Now, what are the elemental spirits of this world, the spiritual forces? And, one way to think about it is like lust, greed, vengeance, and pride. These are elemental spirits that guide many people in their day-to-day lives. Another way to think is the elemental spirit of thinking, if I just work hard enough, I will bring about my own salvation. And we worship the idols of this world in that way. Then he goes on, and Paul makes this amazing statement. When the time had fully come, and this is the incarnation, in miniature, God sent his son. He was born of a woman, born in the flesh, but also born under the law which always accuses us. Jesus also was born under it so that you and I could be freed from it. So that you and I, as it says, so that we could receive adoption to becoming children of the Father. And because we are children of the Father, he sends the Spirit of the Son, who cries out in us, Abba, Father, cries out to the Father. Well, thanks, friends. Have a blessed day.